Hi, my name is Trevi.
And I'm Kate.
And welcome back to our podcast called 6 Feet Above. I was off key. 6 feet above. There we go.
Amazing.
Aw.
Okay, so you're anxious?
Way to out me.
We're laying it all out today,
I
guys.
thought we weren't outing people in this 2024.
No, we are.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's only okay when I do it.
Okay.
Hey.
Hey y'all. How y'all doing?
How y'all doing?
Yeah, no, I had a lot of caffeine today. To be exact, 350 milligrams.
Damn, so you're off that caffeine cleanse.
What do you, oh, yeah, no, done.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no. Back to being a full, like, caffeine junkie. Is that appropriate?
I don't know.
At
I'm
all.
not sure.
I'm like, I was a junkie.
Yeah, you
so
are a junkie.
Well, you know what? You kind of ate with that. Because, like, technically.
We all are.
No, because, like, I'm using my junkie ways in different, like, ways.
So true.
Yeah.
It's like when you put it like that, I do hear it.
Yeah.
And I hear it loud.
Oh my God, can you talk for me?
Guys, what's crazy is we didn't do Off My Chest last episode.
Oh, yeah.
We completely forgot.
I can't believe no one commented about that. We put it in the
Yeah.
description, and I was like, we forgot to do off our chest, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Literally off we chest.
Off We Chest, yes.
Yeah, I don't know. So I guess we should start off with it.
I kind of agree.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why I feel like I forgot everything, like, about how to do this.
But honestly, you're doing great.
Idiot.
Yeah.
My new bit of it's my new bit of the day. I just love it. If there was like a wall right here, I'd just be like, idiot. Anyway, so guys, before we continue this episode, we just wanted to let you know that it would mean so much if you could comment and like this video and even share it. It helps with the algorithm and for YouTube to push out our videos for like-minded people like you guys. So we would really, really, really appreciate it. Seriously. While we're at it, you guys, we just hit 17,000 subscribers. So if we could keep clicking the subscribe button and the notification bell next to it so you know every time that we upload a video, that would be amazing. Guys, if you are watching this on YouTube and you're driving or trying to fall asleep, there's an audio version. You can go to the description and find it there. Off My Chest. Should I start?
Go ahead.
Okay, so up and coming. They do it twice a year. It's like the Coachella for New York.
Yeah.
It's New York motherfucking Fashion Week.
Get into it.
Get into it. Get into this gag.
Yeah.
Right. So they do it twice a year. I don't go all the time, but when I do go, I do like to do a sleigh. And I do like to pull off a look. I like to show out. I'm going to be there last minute. So this is my Off My Chest, essentially. I don't really know if it's negative or positive because I haven't experienced it yet. I'm excited. I'm excited
you
to.
should be.
I have been home pretty consistently. Remember that month where I was in like 5 different places?
You were everywhere.
That wasn't fun.
Yeah, that was crazy.
If that's not world tour, like if we're not getting checks for that, it was honestly quite miserable.
Right.
Too many times I had to do laundry and like
Girl, I hate laundry.
go back home and like make sure my cat was alive. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
it's, like,
talk to the cat sitter.
exhausting. Yeah.
Just like it was a lot. But I got asked to walk a show.
Major.
And
First show ever walked
First show ever
in
walked.
the world.
So, first of all, I need like tips and pointers.
Right. Which is wild that you asked me because I've seen you strut in Barney's Beanery.
Well,
and that was better than all you on the runway.
Oh.
Starting fee for no reason.
I love when you start beef for no reason. No, it's just like I feel like there's like little posture things or like how far apart do my legs need to be with each step? Like
5 paces east.
What?
What? Go on.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Ever.
I was wishing that you didn't hear it.
Osmosis. Yeah,
exactly.
So I really don't know. We can like do a little test run. But I'm nervous. I'm just gagged.
Do you know what you're wearing?
I have a fitting on the 5th.
Okay.
So right now it's the 28th?
Yeah, 29th.
29th of August. And that'll be in like probably like a week from now.
Oh my God, so
So
fun.
I'm excited. So when this comes out, I'll be just about leaving to go.
You'll be strutting.
I am just very nervous.
What are you nervous about? Let's unpack.
Well, being in New York,
Okay.
I'm like excited to like be on a plane again and like see some friends, but I think being in New York for like a sec, it's not like a 2-day trip. It's like a 5 or 6 day trip.
Damn.
Which is like a lot for me for New York.
Yeah.
I think that is gonna be something.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also just think like outfits, glam people, hair people. It's just the city becomes so like everyone's booked, every place is packed,
Yeah.
every club is like airtight. It's just
Poppin'.
like it's fun, but it's
Yeah.
just it's a lot. It's very anxietizing, but
Yeah.
you know, I've made it fun before. I can make it fun again.
Right.
In sobriety, I've done
Yeah,
fashion.
you've done it in sobriety.
Well, I've done Fashion Week drunk too, and I could tell you the Fashion Weeks I've done sober are way better.
Girl, I can't
I feel like I'd
imagine
just go out there and fucking frolic on the streets and be like, I wouldn't even go to anything. I'd just be
Right.
like, I'm here for Fashion Week.
Right.
And I like put on some like Amazon stiletto and like
Correct.
think I looked like a woman. And it was just like,
Oh. Okay.
I mean, we all have tea.
Yeah, back straight, hips out.
Okay, so I asked you for pointers and you
Yeah.
didn't tell me until just now. So,
Oh, so I'm fake.
so you want me to fail.
Stop. No, but that back is straight, that gaze is up. I don't want you looking at the ground.
Oh.
My feet get really sweaty on the runway.
The only thing I'm hoping for is that it's not very like drapey. Like I don't want anything going past my knees. Like that's
yeah.
when I'm like would be concerned of like looking at the floor.
Right.
Because if it's like a situation like the Gouvance dress that I wore to the Mac ball, this one right here, it was down to the floor and it was like ruffles
you
and
gotta be like carrying it the whole
the
time.
amount of time not only did I trip over myself, people tripped
Right.
over me. The dress was ripping. I had to like
Yeah.
go get it like fixed and like it was just
That's
a
when
lot.
you walk extra slow. If the gown's too long.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what pace she What if it's like she asked me to like do like the what's that one? What was that Balenciaga show where they're like
Oh yeah, I would love that.
I would love that.
You would slay.
I would cuz
Yeah.
you know that's like how I naturally walk.
Yeah. It's the worst when there's like a train. Like
Oh, train?
at the when they're running train, no. When
What?
at the end of a show, they do like, you know, every model lines up and they all walk around. And the worst was when like a petite was up front and she was like running in the stilettos and I was behind her like trying to catch up. And I'd always be like, walk slow, and they
Right.
would never do it. My off my chest, Trevi, honestly, something that I wasn't even gonna tell you. And then I figured, why don't I just tell all of 6 Feet Above and you? So as you know, I'm 5 years sober. And
What?
No. I am. And I'm also, you know, we all got our vices. I'm 2 years off the PORN, porn. And so the other day, it was so weird. I was like on my computer doing work and my hand like slipped and it typed in PORN
Right.
up. And I was like, this is weird. And I was on the homepage and
So
I was
you
like,
relapsed.
so I'm 2 years without it. And I was like, am I about to do this? And then I was like, let me just check on the old videos I used to peruse.
Did you
See if the actors did anything new.
Right.
See
Catch
if
up
they-
on the content.
Catch up on the content.
Like they do with XFA.
For those that don't know, I want to make it clear that like I found out, I didn't know I was addicted to PORN, but my friend, I was talking to him once and he has a severe addiction. Like I'm talking jacking it 10 times a day.
Oh.
And
Word.
I was like, I had a boyfriend at the time when I talked to him and I was like, yeah, every time with my boyfriend, I have to picture PORN to get off. And he was like, that means you're addicted.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, I didn't know that.
Right.
But anyways, I was like,
You jacked off.
no. So this is what's messed up. I was like, let me just like click on a video. I was like, it was so weird. I'm 2 years without it and it's just staring at me. And I was like, I got to click on a video.
Was it a good one?
No.
Oh.
It was like the freaking like, it was, the acting was like too good.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
then it was like that like high def.
Oh yeah, they
and
got
I-
good. No. They like started hiring like
I
actors.
don't like the high def stuff. I
No,
want it
you
to
want
look
you want
homemade.
Pixely and the pizza boy. Be
Right.
like, yeah. Did anybody order pizza? What do you mean
Right.
take off my pants?
Okay, so
aren't
that's
you
what
my
you watch.
Aren't you my stepsister?
Right.
Anyway, and
Pizza
then
stepsister,
somehow it
all
turns
that,
into
yeah.
Scott. Yeah. So kidding. You know I did.
No, it is not.
No, you know I came across Scat while I was perusing.
Oh yeah, you told me that.
Yeah.
Did you click on it?
Nope, just the thumbnails were moving. You know how sometimes you like
Oh
the
my
mouse hovers
God,
over the
yeah.
thumbnail and then it starts to move. If you're into that,
I know.
Live your
It's
truth.
like we're not
Live-
shaming.
live your truth. But
Yeah.
to me, couldn't put together the words. I really couldn't.
I saw you really.
It was
trying.
It was a moving thumbnail, a GIF, if you will.
Of what?
Some say GIF. It's just shit coming out of someone's onto someone's face.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You asked.
Wow, who's horny?
Wait, so question though.
Yeah.
Did you like I hope you didn't like beat yourself up or about that or like
I felt disgusting and like a
Really?
weird loser after. I closed my laptop and I was like,
Oh.
wow, like, damn, 2 years down the drain for what?
Yeah, but that's
4
not
pixels? You fucking loser. But then I decided to be nice to myself.
Yeah, let's do that.
And I called my guy friend because I was like, I know a guy will understand this, unfortunately. I'm just like, I just feel like I need to call a guy. I told him and he was like, man, I'm still trying to get off that shit. And I was like, okay, that made me feel better.
Right.
And then I came out to Harper Rose about it because we were driving to a show that night.
Yeah.
And I was just like so off. And she was like, Kate, you're being weird. And I was like, I don't want to
What?
say it because I like did it that day. And I was like,
Oh.
all right, I did it. And she was like, she comforted me.
Be nice to yourself about that
Yeah.
because that is out of anything you could have done,
I know.
you could have
I'd rather that than like the vape.
that's what I'm saying, like
yeah.
even if you did do the vape, it's like girl,
Right. Girl, you're not drinking.
as long as you're not doing something that is gonna like potentially ruin your life. Are you stopping again or are we gonna try to like moderation? I love moderation.org.
No, I haven't done it since. And honestly, I was like, you know what? Those 2 years without it, it's not like it erases those 2 years. Like I still have.
Yeah, it does. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm just like, I don't have like a desire to do it. I like scratch the little itch.
Right.
So like, when you think about it, that means I can go back to a vice and then stop.
Don't give me ideas now too, sis.
No, guys, it's all good. I'm not jacking it. We're fine.
Right. I'm just jerking it.
Yeah, it happens. God, I'm
Well,
human.
you know, I'm really happy you got that off your chest, Kate.
Yeah,
and
I'm
I'm
glad
glad
everyone
I'm glad
knows.
not only did you wait to tell me, you waited to tell the whole entire 6FA audience.
Cause honestly, I'm sick of women don't talk about this enough. I only hear men talk about it, and I barely hear men talk about it.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that we talk about on this podcast that people are like, you guys talk about a lot of things that people are too scared to talk about. So like I think you being open about that could probably help another girl dealing with maybe like shame about that. I don't really know.
Yeah,
But,
I
like,
don't know either.
we say our truth. There's a digital footprint.
There is.
Right. We were talking about that today.
And
on FaceTime.
I suggested a topic today, and Trevi goes, so you got to remember this is online.
Yeah.
And you probably shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
I was like, so true.
Yeah.
But like, I just am at a point where I'm like, I've said too much. There's
Yeah.
no going back.
Like it's just so like anyone Googles our name, like last video uploaded is like Sugar Daddy Horror.
Right. And
It's like at this point, it's like
nah.
I've given up my soul.
Yeah. It's
Right.
like, this is just who we are.
It's just fame. Like it's the fame.
The fame. But guys, listen, we're yapping our truth. And if you got an issue with that,
If you got an issue, grab a tissue.
mhm.
Stop crying.
So,
What?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So speaking of whacking it,
You whacking it, yeah.
you know, that requires you to move your body
Wow.
and your hands.
So
but
true.
you know, the opposite of your hands is your legs. And you know what legs do? Legs walk and legs also strut. And like I said earlier, I'm going to be on a runway. But Kate's been on her fair share of runways. So why don't we dig into some Fashion Week model tea?
That segue was everything.
That was a pretty
that was
good
like
one.
the best thing that's ever happened to 6 Feet Above. Thank you.
Ever.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I just yapped about jacking off, so can you?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that this has nothing to do with the designer because me and her have been like trying to do something for a second. But I think this is like an umbrella topic. In the end of 2023, I was with my first modeling agency and it was like they had me for digital, so like for like brand deals and stuff, but then they also had me for like any campaigns for modeling stuff. And I was thick.
Period.
And that was everything. And I had my thick phase. And, you know, although I might have been really insecure about it, like I felt really like happy that I thought that like someone in that industry was like, oh, you're so beautiful. And I was like, just then like really starting to like take my like, not at the end of last year, but like, I feel like I was the leaf was turning, and like me really, really, really taking beauty and upkeep really seriously. So I was like, oh, like people are noticing.
Right.
But then when I signed to that agency, and this is nothing against them, I think they tried their hardest to pitch me to as many campaigns and, you know, deals as they could, but we mutually decided on a phone call that it was just best if I moved on. You know, I think they did what they could. Do I think that they tried their absolute hardest? No. Do I think I could have got like the Alex Consani deals of it all, or like the super itty bitty skinny girl fashion campaigns? No. But what's interesting over the past, I would say like 6 months from now, 5 months from now, I lost some weight, and like just people in, not even in the modeling industry, but just like even in the music industry out here, and like fashion industry, not the girl that I'm talking about, I love her, but like people that I've tried to reach out to before about things, and them like just being so nonchalant or pushing me off.
Right.
And like, I'm not gonna blame it on like, oh, I lost weight, this is why they want me, but it seems a little suspicious.
Yeah.
Because like the brands that are reaching out to me now, and it's just like the comments that I'm getting and the messages I'm getting. I know we've talked about this a couple episodes ago, like the skinny compliment like feeds an unhealthy thought pattern. But like God, oh God, like it is just such a fucking difference. And it just makes me feel like a piece of shit. Cause like, you know, before that happened, like before it was like last year when I was a little heavier, I was like, I thought I looked so beautiful, and I was just so, and thank you. And it was just like, I was so confused, and maybe I was like, maybe I have like the opposite of body dysmorphia, where I was like, I thought I was skinnier than what I was.
Okay.
And is that controversial?
No.
Okay. But it was just like, damn, I was so confused back then. I was like, why nobody want to fuck with me?
Right.
And then I like lost some pounds, and then people are like all of a sudden, so it's just like, and it's gonna fluctuate, like it goes up and down all the time. It always has throughout the past few years, and I just noticed that people treat you so differently, and it just sucks how it's like not even down to like actual partnerships, it's down to just like people, friends, like just people in LA treating you so, and New York treating you so differently.
It's like night and day.
Like night and day.
It's so messed up. Because, like, you want to believe that, like, the world and the industries that we're in are, like, becoming more and more progressive
and diverse, yeah.
And you think that they are, and then you're really in it, and you're like, oh, wait, no, this is kind of trash. And also right now, like, skinny is, like, super in, and everyone's, like, obsessed with it. And I see it all over my TikTok, all over everything. And it really is crazy how different people and brands and everything treat you when you lose a bit of juice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. We've talked about this before. Like, I lost weight during the pandemic, and people treated me totally differently.
Really?
Like men and just.
Oh,
like,
the men too. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but.
No, I mean, I was gonna bring that up too, because I was like, dating is probably so different for you too.
Get me started.
But you should get into it.
I mean, like, do I feel like I look like? Do I feel like more comfortable being naked now? Yes, because I personally am heading towards where I want to be with my body. I think everyone has different goals for the way that they want their bodies to look like. But like, I used to be so insecure about that, like being seen like naked. Like, I always thought I was like slaying in clothes, like the right fitting clothes, and I did. But like now I'm like, oh my God, naked boots. Cut that.
Wait, why?
I don't know. I'm like not doing.
No, I feel that. I don't know. It's not like I like lost a lot of weight when I was modeling, but I've talked about before how they urged me to gain weight. They were like, you'll book more if you're a size 18, you're a size 14 right now. But it is just really crazy in general, like how different plus size models get treated than like straight size models in the industry, and then like the level of opportunities you get. Like, for Fashion Week specifically, I remember I was going to a casting with two of my friends. They were both plus size models, and we ran into these two straight size models that were with the same agency. They were like, "Oh my God, we're swamped with castings for Fashion Week. Oh my God, like I have like 6 a day," and we had like 2 that whole week. And like I talked to other plus size models, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we're getting like none." Because I feel like there was one specific season where so many plus size models were on the runway and it was like a trend. And now they're like, okay, we did that. And they have like the few like big famous plus size models that they like use. Also, now that we're on the topic, there's allegedly this app that if you're a model and signed with an agency, you get free dinners.
Isn't there like there's like model housing,
there's
there's model
so many.
restaurants, there's so many of that type of
You
stuff.
just have to like post a story. And I was with this other model. She was a straight size model. And we were like, let's go to this dinner place together and let's get a free meal. And I was like, heck yeah. And then I show up and I was like, oh, wait, it's not on my app. And she pulled up the app and I pulled up the app. And I had like 2 options for dinners and she had like 30. Isn't that wild?
That's fucked
I mean,
up.
it's like, who actually, like, I'm not like complaining, like, I ain't getting enough free dinners.
Do you
but
have to
it's
put your
just
stats in?
yeah.
So it judges you by your stats?
Yeah, if you're a straight size model, you get like all this free shit. And
What?
If you're plus size, you got like half a creme brulee and you had to pay like
double.
Like, yeah,
You had to pay double.
They're like, you actually have to pay, triple.
Wow.
And it's like such champagne problems, but it was just like crazy
No,
how
but it shows like
different.
where people's hearts are.
Yeah.
Like in
I was
that.
like, oh, you don't want us at your restaurant? You think we're gonna eat everything? Because we are. No, I'm kidding.
Well, hey.
I'm kidding.
That is so wild though.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of hot when you think about it, but
Did you get the creme brulee?
no, I show up and she was like, oh, damn, it's not on your thing. And I was like, yeah, well, you'll be sharing with me. You know that, right?
Right. Did she?
Yeah, she was great.
Oh. You guys, so quick little plug. I decided to do something kind of insane and kind of like risky. I applied to be a part of the Sephora squad. And basically what that is, it's like a hand-picked thing that Sephora does where they pick like a group of influencers to work with for a year straight. I love Sephora. I know a lot of you guys love Sephora. It would be a dream to work with them. There's like this thing, a part of my application where I can share a link and there's like fans or people that watch me that can like give a testimonial about me and like why I deserve to be in that crew of people that make the Sephora squad. So it would really mean a lot if you can go to the description and click the link and leave a little testimonial about why you love me, about why I'm great and perfect. No, just an authentic way of just kind of letting the people who would be reading it on the back end know that you're there for me. And I love that. Can you segue
You know
on?
what, guys? I'm juicy and I love it. I love every second of it. But what I don't love is when the juice evaporates. And then, wait, no, that sounded wrong. I'm sorry. What I don't love is when the juice gets taken for granted.
Oh.
And by that, I mean when a motherfucker tries to ghost you and come back.
Ooh.
That made no sense. That
No,
segue.
it
made no sense.
Yo! No,
Hey,
because
hey,
they really be like taking the juice for granted.
But they do.
So it made sense.
Yeah, and they come back like out of the ground,
Like,
out
nothing
of the woodwork.
happened.
Yeah.
Like nothing happened.
No, but like I feel like we have a lot of fables, and by that I mean soliloquies of like men coming back from the dead. They like ghosted us.
Is a soliloquy?
A sonnet. They ghosted us, and then they try to like hit us up like nothing happened.
Well, thankfully, this is a universal experience.
No, it's only happened to us.
It's oh, that's the way I feel.
It's isolating.
It is very isolating. I mean, I know that like a lot of girls that go through this issue, are always like, "What is it about me?" Like, no, it's nothing about you.
It has nothing
It has
to do with you.
nothing to do with you. It just happened to me recently with someone, and you know,
Girl,
what?
same.
If I didn't give a fuck about this dude, I don't think that like it would have affected me as much. But like, I think I might have
Who?
talked about him.
Finance?
No, the guy I hooked up with in Hawaii.
Oh, him.
No, not. Which one are you thinking about?
The emails?
Emails. Emails?
He sent you so many emails. He was like, I love you.
He's military.
Oh. I thought you met him in Hawaii.
He reached out to me recently too.
Okay.
He didn't ghost me though. He's just like on a ship in the middle of the ocean.
Classic.
No, so it was this one that was in Hawaii. It was like this 6'5", like.
Oh, I remember this.
Someone brought this up. Was it? I don't think it was you. But the difference between casual sex, and this could be a topic on its own. There's a huge difference between casual sex or casual like hookup, right, and casual intimacy.
Oh.
Now let's unpack that real quick because
I'd love to.
when I think of a casual hookup, it's when I feel like I'm in that headspace to be like, oh, I just want to play around with some fucker that like I know is not gonna like upset me or like I'm not gonna like hop it. Like if I do a casual hookup, like I'm in it with the same intentions as them.
Right.
But what I don't find fun or also cool is like when you've been talking to someone for a second and then things get intimate, but their intentions are like to keep it casual, but it's like they treat you
like a girlfriend.
Yeah. And it's like, it's just like, I don't know, like with a hookup, it's like, okay, boom, 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 boom. And then they do, the yawn. And then they go, I actually have to wake up so early.
I know. I'm like,
and then
oh
they
my
bounce.
God,
and I'm like,
leave.
no, can you actually, oh, you go to them?
Oh, sometimes.
Yeah.
Not always.
So normally they're in my house, so I'm the one yawning.
Yeah.
But they also sometimes they try to like yawn, but it's like the yawn petition.
Right.
I'm like, who's gonna yawn first? And say, I'm like,
they start opening their
go
mouth.
home.
I like put my fist in. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. I'm like, just go home.
Yeah.
Like no one thinks you're sleeping here. You don't need to explain.
Right.
Put on your fucking khakis and your dress shoes and go back to fucking JP Morgan. Anyway.
Because literally, how dare you assume that I want you to like cuddle me all night?
Right. But then it's like people.
Even though I do.
But then the gag is that like you have people that like you FaceTime or maybe hung out with a couple times that you like actually kind of you like know a basis of who they are.
Right.
And then you like hook up with them, but it's like the eye contact.
Right.
And then it's like the words, like some of the words that they say when it's happening. Like it's just sometimes like some of the things that I'm like, oh,
right.
I'm like, this is
like, you're in love with me.
I'm falling in love with you.
Right.
And then, oh my God. And so what happened is basically what I'm saying with this Hawaii motherfucker who just reached back out after just disappearing into the dust. Like during when we were hooking up in Hawaii, like it was that same shit. It was that like eye contact. It was like that talking and like moving the hair out of my face and like the passionate. It was like soul bonding. Like I've never ever, still to this day, I don't think I've had anything as intense as that ever. And
what the heck?
Stayed there for like 2 more hours, just cuddled up, talking, playing with my hair, scratching my back, like, and I was like, oh, this. I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, oh, this motherfucker's in love with me.
No, it's like you're engaged.
At this point,
Yeah.
I'm doing a gender reveal. I was preggers, and he didn't even put it inside me. I was just like, I just feel.
Virgin Mary.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going down for real. So it left me bemirfed.
Yeah.
When I went to text him the next day, being like, I had an amazing, like I was leaving the next day too. I was like, and I was already planning to come back like a month after that because I had to be there again for work.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm going to be back in a month. Like, I'd love to see you. He didn't respond.
Die.
And then it's like,
loser.
Later, he was like, hey, sorry, things have been really busy. Them trying to like ease it off.
Right.
And then disappears again. And then months. Obviously, I didn't keep texting him because that would be like loser behavior
like,
for me.
up, yeah.
It's like, no, get off the fucking floor. And not to, if you guys are doing that, I'm calling myself a loser, not you. But like also stand the fuck up at the same time.
Please.
Off the floor now.
Yeah.
In a kitten heel.
Yeah.
Now. On the runway.
Close Pornhub.
Yeah. Stop, your finger's not slipping. So, he texted me the other day.
Oh!
Keep in mind, I was in Hawaii again 2 months ago.
Right.
2 months ago. And I texted him before. That was the last time I texted him. I said, I'm on my way to Oahu.
Right.
Didn't say a damn thing. He texted me 2 days ago. He goes, hey, can you please let me know the next time you're here?
What?
The fuck do you mean?
I was there, bitch.
I was there. Also, I'm not planning. Also, it's been months on months on months on months.
Right.
And I'm just like, were you cheating? Were you with someone? Like, cause I didn't think like what I experienced with him was like fake. It didn't give me fake. Like it felt like he genuinely was like feeling that in that moment. Like
Right.
maybe men can just do that
Yeah.
and not like connect it to their like.
They can. That's so. Did you respond?
I literally just go, what the?
And what did he say?
He didn't respond.
What?
Yeah.
That's insane behavior.
Me responding, stand up.
But the way I would, because I'd be interested, I'd be like, I need to read
but
this guy
I'd
to
be like,
Phil.
what are you? But it's like,
Yeah.
why now?
Yeah.
I was in the shower. You ever just go into a shower
And come out.
and then you have like the most insane text messages
Why is that?
from people you've never heard of or the people you haven't heard of in like
Yeah.
so long.
It's always in the shower. Never when you get off the plane.
Never when you get off the plane.
Yeah.
It's never when it's like you wake up. It's
Yeah.
always when you get out of the shower. I'm
Yeah.
like, who? My ex texted me?
Right. It's so weird. It's like how you always seem to FaceTime me when I'm in the shower.
Well, no,
I
that's
find that
because I have
interesting.
security cameras in
Yeah,
the bathroom.
right. Yeah, wow. That must have been
It's just like,
bee-whittling as hell. Like,
it was just like, why?
Yeah.
It's just like, I just don't understand the way that their psychology works. And it's just like, I did tell you the last time I was coming,
yeah.
not planning on coming. And I honestly don't feel like telling you. Also, hilarious that the time is 8:08 right now. And that's the area code of Oahu.
Text him.
No, he texted me.
Yeah.
That's literally his.
He texted you, didn't he?
No.
Okay, so my ghosting story is I went on a date with this guy and it was in New York. And when I tell you this date, magic. And like, listen, I'm not one to fawn over a man after a date, but first of all, he's like making me die of laughter, which never happens.
Really?
He's like feeding me mac and cheese. It's so fun. And I'm just like being my weird self already on the date. There's
wow.
tension. And then I was like, let's go to your apartment, which I don't do. I wasn't gonna like munch anything or like do anything, but I was like down to make out with him. So we get to the apartment. He's like chasing me around the apartment, like playfully. I'm running for my
I literally
life.
just spit out so much. There's vape juice in my teeth. Dr. Gabe's gonna be like, why do you have 17 cavities? It's like
It was like a tee. I'm like running around the apartment.
why are you? Also, it's New York City.
It was big.
Oh,
It was
rich.
giving rich. Yeah. You're like, okay, then this is okay.
No, babe, Chase.
Yeah.
Now,
literally.
his name was Chase.
His name was Chase.
Can we say his name is Chase for the rest of the story?
Yeah, okay. His
Okay.
name's Chase, guys. But like, you know, when someone's like running towards you and like it's like you're like scared, but you're screaming. It was fine, okay. But I will say I saw a picture of a family that wasn't him, and I was like, "What is this?" And he was like, "Oh, I don't know." Anyways,
Airbnb.
that was weird. Yeah, I like thinking back. I'm like, was this even your place? Not my business. But all I know is, had such a good time. We were smooching on his couch, and I was just like doing a little dance for him. It was just fun.
Were you sober?
Yes, this is in sobriety. I was like, hit it, and I was like doing my little dance.
Wow.
I have charm. But anyways,
No, you do.
Thank you.
I mean that.
Thank you. And it was just like so fun. And then he like texted me when I got home, and he was like, when can I see you again? And he was like, let me text you next week. And so he texted me being like, hey, can we get drinks on Friday? Or like, not drinks, but like
Drink
mocktails.
vibes.
Yeah, drink vibes. And I was like, yeah. He was like, all right, I'll text you Thursday with a place.
Hot.
Thursday, crickets,
Oh.
crickets. And I was like, surely he must have died or something.
No, surely
Yeah.
he must be held captive somewhere.
Right. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like probably like they found him like squatting in that nice place. Like
He
who
got
God
sent to jail.
knows. Yeah, he got sent
Yeah,
to jail.
he got sent to jail because he was squatting in that poor family's home. They were all duct taped downstairs.
Correct.
And
correct.
he was living there while they were all held hostage.
And I'm glad you said that because I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
And this was, year 2 of sobriety, so my confidence wasn't fully there yet. So I was like, this surely is the love of my life. Anyways, Thursday, crickets. Friday, crickets. And I was like, what the hell? And then I did that thing where I was trying to be the cool girl, and I was like, well, maybe I just didn't, but whatever. Doing all the mental gymnastics. Anyways.
Flipping backwards,
Yeah,
back bend.
flipping back
Simone
bends,
Biles, like
fully,
no,
like
yeah.
ooh, Olympics. And so, anyways, I unfollowed him on Instagram, and when I did that, I noticed he had a story, and I was like, let me just do a reply to the story, and then I'll leave him alone forever.
After you unfollowed?
I replied story, then unfollowed.
Okay.
It was my goodbye gift to him, even though, didn't need a gift. We went on one date, but he was the love of my life anyways.
Right.
So I replied saying, you think you're cool or something? Just like being sassy or whatever. I'm left undelivered for 2 years. The other day.
Wait, recently?
Yes.
No.
The other day, he responds to me saying, do you think you're cool or something? And says, yeah, cool podcast, by the way. And I go, and I was like, this is so insane, but I have to comment on it. And I go, 2 years later is crazy. And he was like, well, your podcast popped up and you're famous now, so wanted to reach out. And I was like,
Wait, that's such a slay because we hate him.
we hate him. And the famous now is crazy.
No, you
But,
are. If our reels is popping up on that man's FYP.
Right. You can't escape me. If you've ghosted me in the past, you can't fucking escape me now.
I think it was Teffy that was saying this in an interview, and it was like, she said the last thing she said to one of her like exes or something is like, you can try to erase the thought of me, but I will be everywhere, all over your phone for the rest of time.
Period.
And
That's the goal.
and you can block me.
Yeah.
That's fine. Do you know how many times people repost old videos of me on TikTok?
Because they stay doing that.
You'll never escape me.
I'm showing Trevi the DMs between me and him right now.
He's
Is it
cute.
loud? It's cute, right? But I hate him. Wait, read it out, because I was
Do you think you're funny? September 3rd, 2022. July 5th, 2024. He says, no. Cool podcast, though. You go, what? She said, what? With like 17 T's, all capital. And then he goes, that eye emoji that's like looking. You go 2 years later is bonkers. He goes, you're famous now, and came up in my Explore tab. What can I say? What's so funny is like, I don't know the cause of why my dude reached back out, but the fact that like the fame, I can sing the national anthem with my mouth closed.
Go.
Oh
my God.
Hold on.
Hit it. Wow. Okay, we're doing the whole song. Okay. We're doing it, guys. Wow. Where are we still going? That our flag was still there.
So a lot like the national. I'm trying to segue. Okay, wait. I'm gonna see where this goes. So a lot like the national anthem, it provides America with some sort of unity. You know? And for people like us, not only are we Americans, but we are addicts. And addicts need unity as well, especially addicts going into recovery. Addicts going into recovery, I think one of the most important factors is staying around sober people. But you know what it is about being around other sober people in recovery?
Say it right now.
It's not always free, like America.
Yo, I'm eating this one.
You gotta pay a price, and sometimes that's called, well, every time, it's called a sober companion.
Yeah.
Okay, basically what I'm saying is we wanted to get into the topic of sober companions. For those of you who don't know or who are not in recovery, you can basically pay a sober person to kind of like watch you.
Right. People would call it adult babysitting.
Basically.
In a sense.
And these sober companions, like if you need to go to a rehab or like do an important work thing, but you have to like fly, like they'll fly with you. Like they get paid like big bucks.
But not enough.
So I've never hired a sober companion. I was just like living in the sober living, and like essentially my sober companion was the people that were living at the sober living with me. Right. But you've been hired because you used to work in recovery and you used to do like all sorts of things to help people out. Tell me what the lore is behind being a sober companion. Do you have any sober companion stories of other people? Like I just open this gateway.
Yeah.
And let the rockets rest. Yeah, so just go.
Guys, so sober companioning. So I was working at the Sober Living, and then I find out about sober companioning, and it's just like one-on-one, and you get paid like $1,000 a day. Listen, I was like, that is the most money in the world, and I just like get to hang out with someone in early recovery and give them my experience. Talk about a win. Hey, there's a reason you're getting paid $1,000 a day. And honestly, I've had some sober companions where it's beautiful. I love it.
Right.
I think it's great. It saves a lot of people. Like I'm not like on it
Like
at all.
actually, like can like save a life.
Can save a life, and I love it. But there have been times where, good God, I should have been paid $1 billion.
What was the worst?
Girl, I'm trying to decide which one. There was one. This is all alleged. One day I get a call and they are like, "Hey, this family needs you to walk their offspring home from school." Wait, what should I didn't know daughter.
Their child.
Right. So
we're trying not to gender.
Yeah.
And
So they
you
were
come
like,
up with offspring before kid,
yeah,
child.
yeah. What?
Like offspring.
So they were like, this kid is in like middle school, and you need to walk this kid home from school to make sure that they don't do drugs or something else. And I was like, okay, cute. Like whatever. I'll play big sis. And so they were like, the day of, I'm like excited. I'm gonna like, be a big sister. And I get a call and they were like, so I lasted a day on this. They said, so the kid is actually really embarrassed at the thought of you walking them home, which I get because they're in middle school. So you're just going to have to trail behind
like follow
them.
behind
You're going to have to follow behind them. And I said, what? I was told that I was going to like walk with this kid. You want me to stalk this kid with their friends?
But does the kid know that you're following?
Yeah. And
Okay.
I said, so here's what's gonna happen, not that. And they were like, they gave me this whole sob story. They're like, wow, you're really gonna leave this kid behind? It's like the day of the job, you're really gonna leave it? And I was like, okay, damn, I'll do it. So I'm like waiting outside of the school, feeling like a weirdo. And then the kid comes outside with their friends and they just give me a look and then they walk away. And then I'm like walking behind them and I'm like, this is so weird. I'm stalking this kid right now.
Right.
And then they look behind and then they start running.
Oh my God. No.
And I was
He's probably like, my parents hired this.
oh,
chick."
literally. How embarrassing is that? And the kid's running and I'm like, yeah, so I'm going to let you go. Because I don't run in public. And the kid might have like sensed that. And so the kid's running and then I call the person and I'm like, so this is really messed up and I'm not going to be doing this job. I'm not going to follow a kid that's going to make the kid hate their lives and their parents and everything,
Right.
So I was like, yeah, so about that, I'm not doing that. And
do you think the kid actually like had like an issue, or do you think he like was like
that's
doing
the
the
thing.
normal middle school like weed
I don't know,
smoking?
like so many parents are so overprotective of their kids and I get it. And it's like, you need to obviously parent your kids, but too much is going to make like, what are you going to do when your kid goes to college? They're going to like go out of get out of control.
Yeah,
so I'm just like, you can't hire someone to stalk your kids, dude.
No.
Like that it's going to make the kid hate you, hate their life, be embarrassed. Like it's just not how you do it.
Right.
When I was in middle school, I was so embarrassed of everything. I can't imagine someone like trailing behind me.
Right.
So, guys, sober companioning is not. But have you had any like anyone that works at a rehab or something?
Who got jealous?
Yeah, who got jealous?
Have I had what?
Have you ever like had someone working at like a sober living or a rehab, like good or bad?
Okay. So there was, I don't know if I've talked about this. I've spoken about this on my YouTube channel, my main YouTube channel. I've spoken about that. Yeah. I've spoken about this before on TikTok and on my main channel. I don't know if I've spoken about it on here, but I'll just do basically like bullet points here. There was a woman who provided like services of like essentially like a rehab at home.
Mm-hmm.
So she was like my sober companion, which I didn't even realize that like that technically was that now that I'm thinking about it. But she was at my house like every day, making sure I wasn't drinking. But then we were also doing therapy sessions. And then we were also doing like rehab-ish things. So like hikes and meditation and like doing everything I could because I was working so much at the time.
Right.
And like I had to travel and like, I was doing the MTV show and I like couldn't go to rehab.
Right.
So I like hired this person to like basically do like rehab at home.
Okay.
Obviously realized it doesn't work. Maybe it does. Maybe some companies slay at it. But
yeah.
this woman was absolutely sick and twisted, and
Yeah.
I can say that from the bottom of my heart.
Right.
By probably 2 weeks in, she started like asking me questions, and this at the time I think I was 21
Oh my God,
years
a
old
baby. Yeah.
or maybe 22, but she's like, "You're 22," or no, yeah, she's like, "You're 21. You're so young. Like, do you really think you're an alcoholic?"
Oh my God.
And like me at that stage, I was like, denial, denial, denial.
Right.
I just wanted to like I wanted to make everyone else happy.
Yeah.
So right, it's like for me to like see a rehab professional, right?
Right.
In my eyes, what I thought, see a rehab professional and hear a rehab professional look at me and be like, "Do you really think you're an alcoholic?" Before?
Insane.
I've never been asked that question. Most professionals are automatically just run with "you're an alcoholic, you're an alcoholic," and I think I was a little taken aback, but also like quite amazed that like she even asked me that question because at that time I truly didn't feel like I was one, and I'm like, I'll be honest with you, no, I don't, and I was young and also
Yeah.
just denial, like don't act like you haven't been in a detox before, don't act like you've ever had to drink alcohol, not drink alcohol to stop shakes,
Yeah.
like girl, you fully like knew your tea. Basically, it gets to this point where I don't know. By the blink of an eye, she starts coming over every day with a bottle of tequila.
What? How did she introduce that?
Like, so she like asked me if I had alcohol in the house, and then she's like, "Let's just see what happens. Like, are you really an alcoholic?"
Oh, go to jail. Is she in jail?
No, but she did lose her license, but
Bare minimum.
But it's been lost, so she didn't have her license when she was
Oh.
a doctor to me. So I found that out the entire time, that she wasn't actually a practicing doctor. And like her name was like Doctor, So that
Oh my
was quackery
God.
is I think is what it's called. Like actually like the term in legal settings. Like it's imitating a doctor, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's like, let's just try it out. And we start taking shots and then we just start laughing and then whatever.
Yeah.
And then like we both start crying about like random things and then she starts crying about her life. Keep in mind, like she's my therapist. She's not supposed to
Right.
keep her she's
Boundaries.
Like, tell me this whole thing how she was supposed to be such a star back in the day, like
Oh
just
my
like
God.
like breaking down and just like talking about her marriage.
She's lost.
Like her marriage falling apart. I'm like, this is the craziest
This
thing.
is your
And then we just built.
therapist.
I finally was like, oh, a medical professional who finally believes that I'm not an alcoholic. So of course I take comfort in this
Right.
as a young person.
Yeah.
And she just starts bringing over her own tequila bottles, and then she brings over like mixers. She started bringing like a that
Oh
you
my
shake. So she started
God.
making martinis, and we just listened to music. And then it was like straying so far away from rehab or therapy that it was just like this weird friend that I couldn't get rid of because she
Yeah.
started to become really, really creepy. She'd show up unannounced.
Oh my God.
And then basically we got to a point where she would let me and also just like push me to get as drunk as I could. And then I just started blacking out every time she came over.
Oh my God.
One time I woke up, she was shaving my legs.
Girl, what the fuck?
I once woke up and she was cuddling me in my bed.
Oh my
Uh,
God.
Became so obsessed, and then I basically like sobered up one day and realized and like started because I wasn't talking to my parents. She like convinced
Yeah.
me that my parents hated me.
Oh my God.
It was like this whole thing that she's like, but did your parents ever really love you? And I want you to think long and hard about that question. Like some
How old
crazy
was she?
40s, late 40s.
Wow.
Yeah. This is a grown
You
woman.
sick fuck.
So I think she wanted to like be my mother. It was
Yeah.
like really or like fuck me. I don't know. It was some weird shit. But basically, I like kind of wake up from everything and I like call my parents. They haven't heard from me in God knows how long. Like I'd probably text them every once in a while. I'd be like, hey, bye. Never like really communicate.
Yeah.
And then I broke down on the phone to them. And then they're like, you need to get out of your house as soon as possible before she shows up again. Okay. I leave. I go get a burger with a friend. Just trying to get out of my house.
Yeah.
I come back. Keep in mind, I lived in an extremely private apartment complex at the
Right.
time. Like Doja Cat was my next door neighbor, so like
Right.
it was giving like it was Lux.
Yeah.
Lux boots. You know, at least like 3 different fob
Right.
like moments. Tell me why I get back from being out all night. She's inside my house. She
What?
broke in. So then I immediately calls security and the police, and the security escorted her out before the police got there. And then I just went to go sleep at Tana's. And then I blacked out because I was like
Yeah.
I had to.
Yeah.
I was so fucking traumatized.
Yeah.
I was like, oh. So then that fucked me up for like another year and a half, 2
Right.
years. That's why I didn't get sober. It was wild.
Wow.
It was like, this is bullet points. I've more and more memories come back the more I think about this.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was a lot. And
Oh
her,
my God.
yeah. I'm still in like the statute of limitations of like being able to do like to sue her.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't know if I ever want to see that person's face in
I
court.
know.
Like I would have to see that person.
Yeah.
And also like, I don't know, like right now in my life, I'm feeling very, very emotionally strong
Yeah.
and emotionally open, emotionally fluid. Like, I don't think I am able to take something on like that until like now or until another year. Like I wasn't. Everyone immediately was like, "Why aren't you suing her right now?" I'm like, "Baby, they always fucking." Do you know what it felt like to forget your night and wake up with a woman like caressing you and
who
like
you thought was like safe and like supposed to help you?
Convinced me my family hated me, including my brother. Like told me I wasn't an alcoholic, making sure I was blacking out. Like, and then the worst part about it, and before I wrap this part up, is that like it was a subscription based service, so she'd purposely get me so bad at the end of each month that by the beginning of the month she would like reel me in and wean me down. So I felt like she was also my savior.
Oh my God.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like she'd get me so bad, she'd be like, "I'll save you," and then she'd wean me off, and I'd be like, "I feel so much better now."
Wow.
I was like, that's the closest thing I've ever been to like feeling like I was a part of like a cult or like brainwashing.
Yeah.
It was nuts.
That is so. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry that happened. That is so fucked up. Like working in recovery, when I heard stories about people like people like in the sober living that are like my age, say like I hear of like someone working at a sober living like hooking up with someone else, I'm like outraged. And it's like it is so fucked up. Like these people are so vulnerable. These sick fucks that like take advantage of it. Like, oh my God, it makes me so mad. I'm like behind bars for life. But also, it is also frustrating that people are like, well, why don't you just like take this person to court? And it's like, you don't get how fucking traumatic this is. And you're going to have to like relive it, talk about it, see that person. There's like so many elements. Like you can't just be like, it's not like black and white.
It is a multi-layered situation.
Yeah, totally.
You're like, the kid ran. Me. I was caressed and blacked out.
Like,
I love the dynamic of us.
Me too, honestly.
Anyway.
And that's on boundaries, and that's on
questions.
That's on people that work in recovery. Why don't you fucking hire good people? Anyways.
Yo, for real. All right, guys, we are going to move into the unnamed segment where we answer your advice, inquiries, or questions that you sent into our Instagram. So be sure to follow it at 6 Feet Above Pod to know the next time we ask you guys to send stuff in.
Okay, the first one is, okay, so I'm so close to transitioning myself, but I need that extra push because my job is transphobic.
Look, you have to realize that some things in life, you're going to have to put yourself first. And, you know, even people have had to put themselves first before their family and have lost family members. But, like, if you ultimately hide a huge thing that's going to make your life flourish and or make you happy, and you truthfully know that, you're not just, you know, fingering around the idea of being trans. Like, if this is something you have known that you wanted to do for a very long time or for your whole life, like we don't get younger. We do not get younger, except for me, because I do you know, keep up with the Botox appointments quite often. But no, seriously, you're not getting any younger. You got to do what's best for you. There's so many amazing opportunities out there, and the more you are yourself, the more you attract good things.
Period.
Don't try to be someone else. And you got anything else?
I mean, all I can say is like, listen, obviously you know that these people around you are transphobic, but like maybe you haven't done it yet, so maybe you'll have a different experience than you think. And
maybe it depends on like what the dynamic at work is too. Like what if their bosses love them and it's like then they're gonna have to make that choice. Like you're really gonna fire someone for doing that?
Right.
Okay, loser. Next job. On to the next.
Because like obviously you're smart and perfect.
Right.
So.
Be your beautiful, fabulous self.
Period. Okay. Next one is, should I go to the club if my boyfriend broke up like 40 minutes ago over text?
Well, to that I
Yep.
say absolutely.
Yeah. You better hit that club in your highest stilettos.
The highest.
Yeah.
And the highest push-up bra as well.
The highest push-up bra. And you know what? It kind of seems to me like you've been not wanting to be in this relationship for a while.
Yeah, if you're ready to go.
Yeah. If you're ready to go to the club, you're ready to shake ass and listen. You're single now.
Yeah, if you're like ready to go to the club, it's like sis been done, ready to be moved on. Like,
because like usually you leave a relationship mentally before you even break up.
Totally.
So it's like
because I have experience.
I mean,
yeah,
but
I don't know. I also want. I did say like highest push-up bra, but like do that to make yourself feel sexy. Don't like go out with the intent. If you don't want to, you can if you want to, but like you don't need another person or man to fill that hole, that gap in your
that gaping
that gaping gap in your soul. No, I'm kidding. But just like have a girls' night, like have a girls' club night, like fuck it, we're going to Silver Lake.
Hey!
But yeah, do whatever you got to do. Do what makes you feel the sexiest, and whatever happens tonight. She sent that in tonight, right?
Yeah.
40 minutes ago. Girl, hit the town.
Hit the damn
town.
Town.
We're begging.
Yeah. God, all I know is I broke up with my boyfriend once, and then the next night I went to the club. Bawled my eyes out.
Well, I mean, 2 a.m.
Yeah, and I was
in the
shots.
Uber.
Yeah,
yeah.
Uber. But hey,
he's like handing you tissues.
Yeah,
he's got both hands on like the tissue box. The Tesla's driving itself
fully.
It's I'm
fighting for my
malfunctioning.
life.
It runs a red light.
I'm watching porn like
right. You're watching porn in the backseat.
I'm crying.
You're fucking flicking the bean like.
Truly.
But your finger slipped.
It did.
It really did.
I literally didn't do it myself.
The finger slipped right.
Loki, you did it.
Remote control.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but of course.
So it's never my fault, guys.
Well, you know what isn't? You know what isn't ever our fault?
What?
Anything.
And that's
something
Thanks
I'm really grateful for.
Me too.
Oh! I'm banging your hand into this.
Yeah,
I'm banging my head into it. Idiot. What are you grateful for?
Guys, I'm grateful for the audio listeners. I have rings over my gloves today. It's
then they don't need to know. They need to come to YouTube.
You need to come, and
I'm
I'm grateful that I'm going to an open mic after this. It's a co-ed one. I'm actually terrified, but I'm grateful that I'm giving myself the opportunity to be terrified to do this mic, and grateful for you, and grateful that even if we slip up, we're still sober baddies.
Open mic, open wound.
Yeah, exactly. That part.
I'm saying. I'm really saying. Hey, are you gonna go see my open wound tonight? Open mic.
The
gash.
The gash. The 2 years down the drain, but not really down the drain.
Right. 2 years later. No, you have a cool podcast though.
Right. Exactly.
Exactly.
Guys, Parallel Play is doing a live show. It's a variety show I do with my roommate, Harper Rose Drummond. We're doing a live show in New York and LA. LA, September 25th. New York, October 26th. Tickets are in the description below.
And they're selling out, you guys. It's a limited time, so go get on it fast. And I'll be at the LA show.
Yeah. So you better pull up.
I'm really grateful I get to travel soon. I'm really grateful I get to test myself again in my anxiety and keep pushing myself in sobriety to challenge myself to do things that are making me extremely uncomfortable. I've never walked a runway before in my life, and I will let you know in the next episode how that goes. Also, wait, am I going to be able to be... Are we going to have to push back a week?
Wait, when are you leaving?
Oh, wait, no, we could film on like Tuesday or Wednesday.
Slap.
Wait, so they won't know. Oh, wait, so I don't think it might not be the next episode because the next episode comes out the following Tuesday. It would have happened, but it would have been pre-filmed. So 2 episodes from now, I'll update you guys on how it went, if I fell on my face, or if I absolutely slayed and end up in Vogue. I know it's the second one.
Yeah.
But I'm also really grateful that I just like know my armpits are working today. Like the room is a little steamy. I'm wearing a knit crop.
Yeah.
You know, a sleeved one. forgot that they worked. I like almost forgot that they were there.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot happening under here right now.
Yeah, but it looks great. And I don't smell a damn thing.
I know. Coconuts.
Well, really?
Yeah. Native sponsor us. Great deodorant.
Period.
I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for this podcast. And we're going to keep leveling up.
Love ya.
Love you guys.